Chapter 7: A Shirt in the Market. This chapter tells us the story of a shirt. It begins with the production of cotton and ends with the sale of the shirt. We shall see that a chain of markets links the producer of cotton to the buyer of the shirt in the supermarket. Buying and selling takes place at every step in the chain. Does everyone benefit equally from this? Or do some people benefit more than others? We shall find out. A cotton farmer's life. Majority of farmers have small holdings of land. They need to do back-breaking work to get a good harvest of cotton. Picking cotton from cotton farm is a tough task. It takes many days to harvest cotton because all the cotton bolls do not burst at one go. Cotton farming requires high levels of inputs such as fertilizers and pesticides. Farmers often have to borrow money from the local traders for meeting these expenses. The traders charge a high rate of interest. They also put a condition that the farmer would sell cotton only to that trader and not anywhere else. This forces a farmer to sell cotton at a price which is lower than the market rate. Traders are powerful men in the villages. A farmer depends on such traders for money in exigencies, like illness, education, marriage, etc. Moreover, farmers also need to borrow money in order to survive during lean season. The cloth market of Erode's bi-weekly cloth market in Tamil Nadu is one of the largest cloth markets in the world. A large variety of cloth is sold in this market. Cloth that is made by weavers in the villages around is also brought here for sale. The weavers make cloths as per the requirement of merchants. Around the market are offices of cloth merchants who buy this cloth. Other traders from many South Indian towns also come and purchase cloth in this market. On market days, you would also find weavers bringing cloth that has been made on order from the merchant. These merchants supply cloth on order to garment manufacturers and exporters around the country. They purchase the yarn and give instructions to the weavers about the kind of cloth that is to be made. In the following example, we can see how this is done. Putting out system. Weavers producing cloth at home. It is a system whereby the merchant supplies raw material and receives the finished product. The merchant books orders from his customers. He distributes work among the weavers and instructs them to make a cloth as per an order specification. The weavers get the yarn from the merchant and supply him the cloth. For the weavers, this arrangement seemingly has two advantages. The weavers do not have to spend their money on purchase of yarn. Also, the problem of selling the finished cloth is taken care of. Weavers know from the outset what cloth they should make and how much of it is to be woven. However, this dependence on the merchants both for raw materials and markets means that the merchants have a lot of power. They give orders for what is to be made and they pay a very low price for making the cloth. The weavers have no way of knowing who they are making the cloth for or at what price it will be sold. At the cloth market, the merchants sell the cloth to the garment factories. In this way, the market works more in favor of the merchants. Weavers invest all their savings or borrow money at exorbitant interest rates for buying the looms. A loom costs 20,000. A weaver who has 2 looms has to shell out Rs 40000/. Since the work on these looms cannot be done alone, another adult family member works with him. They work up to 12 hours a day. They earn a meager amount of Rs 3,500/ per month in spite of working so hard. The arrangement between the merchant and the weavers is an example of putting out system, whereby the merchant supplies the raw material and receives the finished product. It is prevalent in most regions of India. The garment exporting factory near Delhi. The weaver exists at the core of the process of shirt manufacture. He is the foundation of the textile industry. The cotton cloth supplied by the weavers is sold by the Erode merchant to a garment exporting factory in Delhi. The garment exporter makes shirts with this cloth and exports it to foreign buyers who are mainly the businessmen in the US and Europe. These businessmen run a chain of shops. Here it is the businessmen who have more bargaining power. They demand the lowest price from the supplier. They also set high quality standards. They set strict timelines for delivery. They deal very strictly with any defect or delay in delivery. Hence the supplier has to try his best to stick to the conditions of the powerful buyers. In the process they end up exploiting the poor people who work in their factories. They indulge in cost cutting. They extract maximum work from the workers at the lowest prices, wages. In this way they are able to maximize their profits and supply the garments to the foreign buyers at a low price. The workers in a factory are employed on a temporary basis. They may be asked to leave any time at the whims and fancies of the employer. The wages paid to them is fixed based on their skills. The highest amount paid monthly is 3,000/ which is paid to the tailors. Women do ancillary jobs like cutting, buttoning, ironing, etc. They get meager amount in lieu of their work. The shirt in the United States. A number of shirts are on display at a large clothes shop in the United States, and are priced at $30. Each shirt sells for $30 or around $2,250. Use the diagram shown in the margin to fill in the blanks below. The business person purchased the shirts from the garment exporter in Delhi for per shirt. He then spent for advertising in the media, and another per shirt on storage, display and all other charges. Thus, the cost to this person is 1,125 while he sells the shirt for 2,250 rupee is his profit on one shirt. If he is able to sell a large number of shirts, his profit will be higher. The garment exporter sold the shirt at 375 per piece. The cloth and other raw materials cost him 125 per shirt. The worker's wages cost another 25 per shirt. The cost of running his office came to 25 per shirt. Can you calculate the profit per shirt for the garment exporter? Who are the gainers in the market? A chain of markets links the producer of cotton to the buyer at the supermarket. Buying and selling takes place at every step in the chain. Let us recall who were the people who were involved in this process of buying and selling. Did they all gain as much? There were people who made profits in the market and there were some who did not gain as much from this buying and selling. Despite their having toiled very hard, they earned little. Can you place them in the table shown here? Market inequality. Equality is a basic principle in a democracy. It also involves getting a fair wage in the market. In descending order of the gains/earnings, the parties involved in the chain of markets are as under: foreign businessman, garment exporter, workers at the garment export factory. The foreign businessman makes huge profits whereas the garment exporter's profits are moderate. Unfortunately, the earnings of the workers at the garment factory is barely enough for their survival. Similarly, the cotton farmers and the weavers who have worked so hard hardly earned anything to fulfill their day-to-day needs. The merchants/traders earned much less than the exporter but more than the weavers/farmers. On one hand, the market offers people opportunities for work and to be able to sell things that they